are going to begin the show in just one moment. One moment, ladies and gentlemen, one moment. We are doing a brand new outlet here on the show. We'll make sure that we are rocking and rolling, okay? So we're going to start the show in a second. Glad to have you here with me, guys. We will begin in just one moment. Guys, it is time to get this thing started. Again, I apologize for the delay, but I've got a loaded show. If you want to hear about politics, pop culture, and more, stick around, because it's coming right now.
It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be pod-smacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
Hey, guys, welcome to the show. Glad to have you with me this evening. I have been away because it's, really busy. I've been very, 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 very busy, and I'm glad to have you here. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to we're going to get into the show. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk politics, pop culture, and more. All right? So if you want to comment, and I'm watching your comments in real time right now as we speak, I'm watching your comments in real time. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Let me make sure that we don't have any sound. But oh, yes, here we are. All right, so here we go. We got the show running, rocking and rolling. How you doing? Glad to have you here. How's your life been? Mine's been good. I've been very, very, very busy. Not able to do as many podcasts as I would like, but tonight, you know what, we're going to make up for it. And I'm here to provide a show that is entertaining, informative, and fun. How about that? How about fun? Oh, my God. I know you're busy. I'm busy. I haven't been able to pay attention to current events as much as I would like to. The Senate confirmation hearings of Supreme Court nominee Judge Brett Kavanaugh today showed where we have gone with regard to civility in this country. And that direction would be to hell in a handbasket. Is this a big surprise? You've got the Antifa. You've got Black Lives Matter. You've got groups that have absolutely rejected the election of Donald Trump. And today they brought their uncivil mob to the Capitol and to these hearings. Women dressed as handmaidens. How dramatic and stupid can you be? How dramatic and stupid can you be? Honestly, if your entire political philosophy is based on being able to choose to kill a baby inside of you, then you really are freaking broken. You are fundamentally, intellectually, spiritually broken. You are broken. If this is it, as you stand there in the Capitol wearing a handmaiden's, this is so dramatic. This is so collegiate, so retarded. No, I shouldn't say retarded. That's politically incorrect. So collegiate, so sophomoric, so stupid. And it was all a planned protest, and Democrats were involved in it today. Cory Booker. Richard Blumenthal, Dianne Feinstein, they planned this, and it's sickening. It's bad enough that we have protests going on in American cities where dumpsters are being set on fire, cars are being set on fire, storefront windows are being smashed. Now, in the same country where an intern for a Democrat can yell F you to the president in the Capitol Rotunda and not be disciplined, now we have this. Chaos. When Barack Obama nominated Sonia Sotomayor, was this sort of thing? Did it happen? Do you know why? Because the left is losing an argument, and when they lose an argument, they shout racism, they shout sexism, and they filibuster. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. It's about not allowing someone to go through the nomination process and being grilled by adults, and instead being commanded by a bunch of nutbag lunatics who were brought there by Democrats. Brought there by Democrats who signed off on this. 22 plus people were arrested at the Kavanaugh hearing. Protesters shouted, waved signs in the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing room. Some of the shouts of those trying to interrupt the proceedings from the gallery echoed the same arguments from Democrats trying to derail them from the get-go. Protesters spouted off, including individually or in groups in succession, often timed to add an air of chaos to already tense debate among the senators. At the head of the room, some held signs indicating affiliation with Code Pink, a radical leftist lunatic organization. They now focus their attention on opposition to Donald Trump. The effect was to have a clear, constant element of noise and disorder in a setting which is usually sedate. Fox News' Chad Pegram claimed the disruption was such that no one in the room could hear the proceedings. And this is what happens when you lose an argument. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Alan. Hello, Dawn. Thank you for joining me tonight. It is an honor and a privilege for you to be here with me tonight. Would you do me a favor? Would you share on Facebook? Would you share that this broadcast is live right now? And don't you love this? Look at this. I have a giant flag behind me. Isn't that crazy? I'm just sickened by the Democrat Party right now. I'm sickened by these leftists who won't allow a discussion. Here is I've got a bunch of different audio from this. Senator Tom Tillis read a document basically saying that the Democrats planned to disrupt the hearings. They worked in concert with these radical groups who were in the chamber. This is what we have become. Here is the senator talking about it today.
Yes, I think I'll go back and forth. Senator Tillis.
Mr. Chairman, I'm confused because I heard earlier that this was a reaction to the document releases last night, but I'm reviewing a tweet from NBC that said Democrats plotted coordinated protest strategy over the holiday weekend, all agreed to disrupt and protest the hearing, sources tell me.
Grow the F up!
And subsequent Dem leader Chuck Schumer led a phone call, and committee members are executing now. So I just want to be clear. None of the members on this committee participated in that phone call or that strategy before the documents were released yesterday.
So Chuck Schumer, who is a gigantic POS, coordinated this sort of uncivil, childish bullcrap? Can we just grow the F up? I'm so tired of this. The Democrat Party, they're losing the argument, and so they caterwaul, and they burn things, and they protest speakers. And now we've reduced ourselves to this sort of incivility when it regards something so ungodly important as a Supreme Court nomination. Grow the F up. Jim, thank you for saying I have a great show. Democrat senators fought to delay the hearing of Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh today. Spectators heckled the process. The two young daughters of Brett Kavanaugh were ushered from the room. Margaret and Lisa, taken out by their mother, Ashley, as the hearing got hot. It was unpleasant for young children. At times, hecklers in the audience shouted out, apparently scaring the young girls who supported their father. One screamed, "This is mockery. This is a travesty of justice. Cancel Brett Kavanaugh. Adjourn the hearing." And this is what happens when you're losing an argument. You decide you're going to cancel the hearing. And that happened through the entire damned process from the get-go. Shame on you. Democrats, let me just say that you suck. The Democratic Party sucks. What a... Children. They are a bunch of... You know what? It's an insult to children. Children are more civil than this. I don't even know what to say about the Democrat Party at this point. It's not about childish behavior because it's an insult to children. It's an insult to children. Here's some more of the chaos from the hearings, which were interrupted from the get-go in an attempt to essentially filibuster and shut down any discussion of this fine man who is a constitutionalist. Shut him down before the nomination process even began. Because he's going to win. Because he kicks ass. And because Democrats know he does. And he's going to get nominated. And he's going to be a Supreme Court justice.
Good morning. I welcome everyone to this confirmation hearing on the nomination of
Mr. Chairman.
Brett Kavanaugh.
Mr. Chairman.
To serve as Associate Justice.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to be recognized for a question
States.
before we proceed.
Before they even started, Kamala Harris is doing this crap. Chuck Grassley is just introducing the hearings, and this is a filibuster traditionally. This is what Democrats do. They want to shut down discussion before it begins because they know they are losing. Listen to this. These are adults, for Christ's sake.
Proceed.
Regular order.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to be recognized to ask a question before we proceed.
Yeah, no, get your soundbite, you idiot.
The committee received just last night, less than 15 hours ago,
Mr. Chairman,
42,000 pages.
Yeah, they've already turned over 400,000 pages of documentation with regard to this fine jurist and 300 decisions and opinions. Okay, they already have. Now, apparently the Democrat Party doesn't have a problem with the night before a vote takes place on Obamacare, turning over 600 pages of documents and rushing it through without people being able to read it. But this is a problem.
Documents that we have not had an opportunity to review or read or analyze.
You're out of order. I'll proceed.
We cannot
You are out of order.
possibly move forward, Mr. Chairman.
I
with this
extend a
hearing.
very warm
We
welcome
have not
to
been
Judge
given
When you lose an argument, you start shouting names and you start to disrupt, and that's what the Democrat Party does right now. This is what they're really good at.
an
Kavanaugh,
opportunity to have a meaningful
his wife,
hearing on
Ashley.
this nominee.
their two daughters.
Mr. Chairman,
Their
I
extended
agree with my
family and
colleague,
friends.
Senator Harris. Mr. Chairman,
He didn't even get a chance to introduce the nominee before this bull crap started.
Judge
we
Kavanaugh's
received
many law
42,000
clerks
documents that we haven't
and
been able
everyone else
to
joining us
review last
today.
night, and we believe this hearing should
I
be
know this is an
postponed.
exciting day for all of you.
He's been considered for 45 days. It wasn't like it's just Justice Kavanaugh. Let's go ahead and confirm him right now. Go. The Democrat Party has had 45 days to delve into this man's past. And they're pulling this crap.
Here,
Mr. Chairman,
and you're rightly proud
Mr. Chairman,
of
if we cannot be recognized, I move to adjourn.
the American people.
Yes, okay, so now we're going to shut down discussion altogether. If they don't get their way, they're going to shut down discussion altogether. This is what Democrats do.
Chairman, I move to adjourn.
Directly from Judge.
Oh, and there's the planned protest in the background. These are the people that the horde, the mob, paid for. They are AstroTurf protesters. They are there in every step of the Obama administration. Regardless, it started with his inauguration, and it has continued. This is AstroTurf BS. People who refuse to admit that Donald Trump won the presidency and is kicking ass. This is not a Senate committee hearing. This is a mob. This has been taken over by a mob.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adjourn. Mr. Chairman, we have been denied real access to the documents we need.
Boo frickety who, you've had 45 days.
Which turns
Senator Blumenthal is a complete POS.
And a mockery of our norms.
Yes,
well,
really.
Mr. Chairman, I therefore move to adjourn this hearing.
You are a mockery of America's norms, you ass.
Okay.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Throw them out. This is a fine jurist. He's got a terrific record. He's a good man. And this is the sort of crap we get from the Democrat Party. Oh, listen to the shrill. This is so childish. This is like going to the non-candy aisle at the grocery store with a 3-year-old. Shut up. STFU, you moron. This is unbelievable. Throw them out. Arrest them. Oh, but you know what? Radical, leftist, anti-Semite, Linda Sarsour. You may be familiar with her. She was arrested, too. Here she is at the Brett Kavanaugh hearing today. She's a radical anti-Semite, radical leftist anti-Semite. She's also a supporter of Sharia law. Now, I did something interesting today. Somebody commented, Linda Sarsour, she's a believer in Sharia law, and therefore a woman should not be allowed to be touched by anybody but their spouse or a male relative. She actually encouraged an action by security that would involve a male security professional to remove her, which is breaking with Sharia law. That's an aside. Here she is acting like a complete dipshit. You know, I hate to be sexist, but by God, if she's married, I would be the husband that just said, I'm done. I'm going to drive into a bridge abutment. Can you even imagine the honey-do list from that woman on the weekend? It's like, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. I know that's very sexist, but whatever.
Mr. Chairman, I ask for a roll call vote on my motion.
Yeah, that's going to get you a vote for no. Yeah, you bet. Yes, please vote no. Okay, we need you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Go away. Shoo. Oh, by the way, I have a line of politically incorrect garb here. Let's go to tpublic.com and look for conservatives. This is my new design. It is Hillary in 20 never. Would you order something? Okay. Would you order something? It would help me out. And we've got some really cool stuff. We've got some really cool stuff there, guys. Including I'm not I'm not afraid of you being offended. I've got a bunch of stuff up there. It's politically incorrect stuff, and it's funny, and you can have it done on T-shirts and onesies and tanks. And coming up in the fall, ladies and gentlemen, hoodies. Yes. Check it out. tpublic.com, conservatives. Hello, Dawn. How are you? Hello, Alan. Good to have you joining me. Ted Cruz was awesome. He said the documents were in Kavanaugh's tenure in Bush administration, where Kavanaugh was a secretary of the White House, and were not judges' opinions. Thank you very much. You are exactly right. All should matter is his opinions. You are right, my friend. Dawn, if they could get away with that, okay. Dawn says she loves hoodies. Sorry, Dawn. I'm getting so many comments on the line. I'm having a hard time reading them, so I do appreciate your comments. Things do get very busy, so I can't read all of your comments, but I do appreciate them. I really do, and I also hope that you appreciate the show, because for those of you who don't know, I'm a broadcaster, podcaster, and I also wrote for Rush Limbaugh for many years. The political satire that Rush Limbaugh played on his show. Do we have any more bat crap crazy video from oh yes. Chuck Grassley, Patrick Leahy, who else? Richard Blumenthal. Here's some more chaos today from the Supreme Court hearings.
Has gone through there.
But, sir, then why did you ask for the White House counsel documents? They were not germane to this hearing. Why would you even ask for them?
Senator Feinstein.
For the record,
did Cory Booker, just real quick, did Cory Booker experience tears of rage because of the hearings? I just want to know. Cory Booker is bat crap crazy Minnesota lunatic.
Per hour. That's superhuman.
Yeah.
They're amazing. Mr. Chairman, if I may, I've been through...
God, will you just retire and go work at Walmart? You're 80 years old.
9 Supreme Court hearings.
Is this your opening statement?
It's part of it.
Why don't you make your opening statement?
Shall I?
Yeah, would you?
Yeah, why don't you do that, okay? Yeah, Chuck Grassley said, yeah, why don't you just do that instead of bloviating?
Please.
Mr. Chairman, I had an opportunity to respond to my colleague from
This is Judy Garland from Wizard of Oz at age 400.
Because he is directly challenged
I said you're out of order.
Well, Mr. Chairman,
Blumenthal is such a douche.
I ask in the process of regular order an opportunity to respond to what I believe was a personal attack.
I'd like to have you give Senator Feinstein the courtesy of listening to her opening statement.
Well, I was just going to say some things. And you heard that this is my 9th hearing.
Great. Retire.
I think we've got to look at this. These are very unique circumstances.
Whatever. Go away. Please go away. And I'm just saying this because, the leaders of our government expect us to go away when we're 65 years old, get Social Security, and go away. And yet there are people in this Congress, in the Senate, in Congress, whatever, and they're well into their 70s and 80s. And they want to hold on to power. They just hate the idea of giving it up. And you know what? I'm effing tired of it. Drain the effing swamp. I don't care if that's conservative or liberal. I don't care. Unbelievable. Let's move on. Let's move on to this. Now, I think you know how I feel about Colin Kaepernick and about protests of the national anthem. This is Nike today talking about, making Colin Kaepernick essentially their new spokesperson. Okay. They are claiming that Colin Kaepernick was kicked out of the NFL because he protested the national anthem. That was not the case. The Denver Broncos, actually, John Elway said that they offered him a contract and he refused to take it. Okay, I don't have the details right in front of me. Colin Kaepernick was not fired, was not removed from the NFL because he didn't stand during the national anthem. He was removed from the NFL because he sucks. There we go. I said it. Nike's advertising campaign premised on the popular theory that Kaepernick isn't playing in the NFL due to the controversies surrounding his protests. John Elway said, I said this a while ago, Colin had his chance to be here in Denver. We offered him a contract. He didn't take it. Kaepernick filed a grievance against the NFL, claiming team owners conspired against him after he wasn't signed during his free agency, which began after the 2016 season. Kaepernick entered free agency after opting out of his contract with the 49ers. Kaepernick has thus turned down 2 opportunities to play in the NFL. So it's bullcrap. Elway, along with other NFL owners, was deposed as part of the players' suit against the league. John Elway says, as I said in my deposition, I don't know if I'm legally able to say this. He's had his chance to be here, and he passed on it. So he's just a big, whiny crybaby, snowflake douchebag, who, by the way, has no right to protest by sitting during the national anthem. He doesn't. You're asking me why? Guys, you do not have free speech at work. You don't have free speech at work. I hate to break it to you. If you work at Best Buy, you've got to wear a blue polo, and it's got to be tucked into some slacks, maybe khakis. When I'm at work, I have to wear a shirt that is tucked into a pair of black pants and black shoes. When you are the NFL, you have to wear a certain kind of shoe. You cannot wear a Black Lives Matter shirt. Not happening. If the NFL can tell you you can't wear a Black Lives Matter shirt or a different kind of shoe, then the NFL can say you have to stand during the national anthem. That's just the way it is. If you work at Walmart and you decide not to wear your blue vest to work, they will say, go put your blue vest on. And if you say no, you will be fired. You have no free speech at work. Get over it. It does not exist, and it's perfectly legal. And it's perfectly acceptable. Sorry. Colin Kaepernick has no right to kneel or sit during a game or before a game. Because if NFL policy dictates it, you stand your ass up, regardless of how you feel, during the national anthem. You idiot. So done with this. Some people are burning their stuff. Their Nike stuff. And hey, let's just, it's bombastic. It's meant to get clicks. But here it is anyway.
I'm going to enjoy. Hell, I might buy some Adidas.
Sure, why not?
You know how many other sneakers there are to buy, to choose from? You're going to go ahead and say, hey, buy them our shoes. We stand with people who kneel for the national anthem. Well, sorry, Nike. I've been buying you for the past 20 plus years. Not anymore.
Okay, so people are paying for it with their pocketbooks. Nike stock has suffered today, and that's cool. Not a big boycott guy. But Nike's going to have to suffer the slings and arrows of its outrageous position. A little Shakespearean there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I know I'm smart that way. Just so smart. Can I just tell you about a sponsor of this radio program that is just amazing? Dots Pretzels. Oh my God in heaven. My wife works at a store that sells Dots Pretzels. It's Ace True Value Hardware. These are made in the Midwest. Oh my God. They are so good. They will ruin you for pretzels. You will never have another pretzel. They're oniony and garlicky and buttery, and they are so damned good, guys. Go to dotspretzels.com and order a big, just like bags and bags of them. Okay, don't just order one bag. Order 10 bags. I'm not kidding. They are so good. They're made in North Dakota, and there's a new plant here in the Kansas City area where I live. Oh my gosh. Dotspretzels.com. You will never eat another pretzel. I swear to God in heaven, you will not eat another pretzel. You won't. They're awesome. And I'd be eating them right now, but we don't have any because they got eaten by my daughter. Aretha Franklin's funeral. Here we go. Another funeral politicized by Democrats. John McCain's funeral was politicized, and I understand, because he was a politician. Meghan McCain said, that America has always been great, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. That's fine. He was a politician. That's what he did. That's what he did. But one pastor is getting some heat for politicizing her funeral, and another person is not. MSNBC contributor and Georgetown University sociology professor Michael Eric Dyson, who is very academic, but suddenly, depending on the venue, becomes very down with the struggle, very, very hood, all right, for lack of a better term. This is Michael Eric Dyson, who appears on MSNBC and is very proper and all this. But suddenly he becomes he becomes a black pastor out of nowhere because he's at Aretha Franklin's funeral. Listen to this doofus.
Then in that belly of blackness in Detroit, without apology or excuse, that embrace of her blackness.
Do you really just disrespect the people in the audience so much that you can switch from liberal and academic to down with the struggle black pastor? It's kind of an insult to your audience.
Her to be political.
Ha!
We got all kind of music now.
All kind of.
It ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Now it depends on when he's when he's in his class, but when he's speaking in front of a largely black audience, he becomes a black pastor.
Cars and money and glory.
What a doofus.
I ain't mad at that, but she was about getting Angela Davis out of jail. She was about working with Martin Luther King Jr. and Jesse Jackson and
Jesse. It's not Jesse, it's Jesse
Sharpton. She was about transforming the existence of black America.
Georgetown University. Do you suppose, I've been down to Georgetown University. He's probably having some sort of a latte and whatever, and suddenly he becomes down with the struggle.
Now Negroes scared to say they black.
To say they black. Now at the University of Georgetown, he's like, to say they are black. But because he's at Aretha Franklin's funeral, to say they black.
Scared to show up at a too black place. That's why some black folks.
That's why. Not that is why.
Here today. They sending letters. They don't want to get up here.
They send in letters. Okay, whatever.
This blackness. They don't want to feel the nasty power of this blackness. We are black in Detroit. We don't care. Take your shoes off. Dip it in the water. Get baptized.
Dear God in heaven, are you out of your effing nut that you would think this Georgetown University sociology professor who appears on MSNBC can suddenly convert to this, to this? Dear God, wow. Wow. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
And then.
Yes,
this orange apparition.
The orange apparition, I'm assuming he means Donald Trump.
Had the nerve to say she worked for him. You lugubrious leech. You dopey doppelganger of deceit and deviance.
Oh, he's starting to do the Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton rhyming thing and starting with the same consonant in the whole deal. Wow, that is brilliant.
You lethal liar. You dim-witted dictator. You foolish fascist.
You effing moron. Oh, wait, that didn't start with an F.
She ain't worked for you.
Shut up.
She worked above you. She worked beyond you. Get your preposition right.
Proposition or preposition?
Then.
Yes.
He got the nerve to say he gonna grab it.
He gonna grab it. Now, this is a Georgetown University professor, Michael Eric Dyson, who most probably is an atheist. a leftist socialist atheist, and he is mimicking a black pastor. This is just so rich.
That's what Aretha Franklin said.
Yes.
I'm going to give you something you can feel. Like the brothers in the street say, tap lightly, like a woodpecker with a headache.
What an idiot. I mean, honestly, what an embarrassment. What a maroon. What a gullible. Michael Eric Dyson. What an idiot. Meanwhile, people are criticizing, including Aretha Franklin's family, the Reverend Jasper Williams, who attempted some sort of political discourse that actually makes sense about Black America. And since Michael Eric Dyson is able to go, and become down with the struggle, he's taking some heat because he actually spoke truth. Truth to power? Just truth. Here it is.
We immortalize the Queen of Soul. Well, right in here, we see the United States of America.
And I understand the vocal.
The land of the free and the home of...
I understand the vocal striations. I understand that you need to reach your audience. Okay, and listen, I think I'm well-spoken. You may disagree. There are some things that I say because it's important to make an effect as a good speaker. Okay, I understand that. When you fake it like Michael Eric Dyson, that's when it becomes nakedly offensive. Here is a pastor who's living in the black community right now. Michael Eric Dyson is able to blame everything on the president. This man is saying, no, we have a hole in the soul of inner city African-American culture. Here it is.
The brave. If we can see the black America, the African-American community, if we can just remove the veneer, take away the prejudice, lay aside the biasness, and take a good, clean look.
This is where it gets ugly. Because when truth is exposed, the left goes bat crap crazy. Like at the Kavanaugh hearings. When truth is exposed, when someone who's a qualified candidate who is a true jurist, an exceptional person, then you have to filibuster, bloviate, and all of that. This man is saying something that I've been saying on the radio for 25 years about the crisis in the African-American community. But of course, this is unacceptable political dialogue at a funeral. Michael Eric Dyson is perfectly fine. Al Sharpton is completely fine. Al Sharpton said, you know, on my Sunday show, I misspelled respect. And he did. He looked like a complete idiot. And a lot of y'all corrected me. Now I want to help me correct President Trump to teach him what it means. And I say that because when word had went out that Miss Franklin passed, Trump said she used to work for me. No, she used to perform for you. She worked for us. Okay, that's Al Franken. Back to this pastor speaking the truth, but it's not the truth that some people want to hear.
And where we are in black America, if we are truthful, honest, and fair, we will have to say that black America has lost its soul.
What do you think?
The one thing that black America needs today, more than anything else, is to come back home to God. Yes, we were rewarded with integration. We got what we fought for. We got what we marched for. But with the birth of integration, there also came the loss of not only the black community's economy, but there also came the loss.
This is going to make people feel really uncomfortable. And it's true.
Of the black man's soul. Oh, you ain't got to say it, man. I know I'm preaching to you. Where is your soul?
Now, Michael Eric Dyson can talk like this, even though he's not a pastor. And it's no big deal. This guy tells the truth, and suddenly he's a pariah.
Black man, as I look in your house, there are no fathers.
Oh, my God! Shut up! addressing the inner city black community where 70+% of households don't have fathers in the house. Oh, my God. Let's listen to Michael Eric Dyson. Let's not look at this. Are you out of your mind? Why would you be offended by this man and not be offended by Al effing Sharpton and Michael Eric Dyson?
Home no more. Where is your soul? 70% of our households are led by our precious, proud, fine black women. But as
where's Dad? Where's Dad?
Proud, beautiful, and fine as our black women are, one thing a black woman cannot do. A black woman cannot raise a black boy to be a man. Where is
that's shameful. I mean, could you imagine? You know what? Fathers might actually represent toxic masculinity. Dear God in heaven.
And so, if you choose to ask me today, do Black Lives Matter?
Listen to this.
Let me answer like this.
This man is brilliant and wonderful, and thank you for speaking the truth, my friend.
No. Black lives do not matter.
They don't.
Black lives will not matter.
They don't matter in Chicago. They don't. When you've got 1,000 shootings in less than a year, when you've got young black men being murdered wholesale and children being murdered wholesale, when you've got black abortion rates, a black pregnancy, so many people in this country struggle to have children. I've got a neighbor, they just lost their baby in the womb. 70% or higher. Black pregnancies end up in abortion. Margaret Sanger's dream come true. Her genocidal, her racist dream come true. Margaret Sanger founded Planned Parenthood. Her eugenist dream is coming true, and she's not spinning in a grave, she's laughing in it.
Lives ought not matter. Black lives should not matter. Black lives must not matter until black people start respecting black lives and stop killing ourselves. Black lives can never matter.
Wow, he speaks the truth. And he's a pariah. Hello, Michaela. Hello, Ann. Glad to have you guys joining me tonight. If you would please share on social media, that would be glorious. Did you notice the hair? I always wait too long to get my hair cut. I finally did it. Forehead's a little shiny. Apologize for that. Al Gore, dear God, Al Gore, go away. Mike, Al Gore was just did an interview on global warming, clean air and water, and he lives in a mansion and he flies in private jets, and of course he's part of the elite. Here is Al Gore with regard to the environment and what Donald Trump should do with regard to it.
Al Gore visits downtown L.A. as the Trump administration feuds with California over environmental regulations. So if he's watching this, what's your message to President Trump when it comes to climate?
Oh, my only message would be resign. I mean, I don't mean to be flippant about.
Well, you just were. Yeah, when you say just resign, you were being flippant. So, I mean, immediate hypocrisy. Let's hear that again.
So if he's watching this, what's your message to President Trump when it comes to climate?
Oh, my only message would be resign. I mean, I don't mean to be flippant about it. I don't think he is prepared to listen to.
What have you done, sir, with regard to climate change? What have you done? Oh, no, it's climate change now. It used to be global warming. It's not global warming anymore because it didn't fit the narrative. It was the global warming thing wasn't happening. So you had to call it climate change. It's September. We're about ready to go through climate change in the United States. Yeah, it's called going to fall. Here's a little bit more from Al Gore.
advice about the importance of clean air and clean water.
You know, and I'm a conservative, so obviously I want dirty air and dirty water. Just shut your mouth, you motorcade liberal who lives in a gigantic mansion, who flies private jets, rides in motorcades, and wants you to sit in crappy seats on an airplane and drive crappy cars and have poisonous light bulbs in your house.
A recent report shows climate change in California is likely going to be worse than originally thought.
Really?
Higher temperatures, more fires,
really?
And more deaths.
Yeah, you know, fires in California have happened forever.
And when they tell us it's going to get worse if we don't...
And when they tell us it's going to get worse...
And we've got to listen. We need to put a price on carbon.
What about in the rest of the country where things are better? Oh, you're going to put a price on carbon. This is glorious, a carbon tax.
We need to put a price on carbon.
It's a tax. He wants a tax. And when was the last time a higher tax fixed anything in this country?
We need to conserve energy. We need to...
You live in a mansion, doofus. You fly in private jets.
Switch over to renewable sources.
Renewable sources. And what is it? Do we have an electric plane? Do we have an electric jet? Do we effectively have electric cars in this country? Honestly, you're going to Nissan Leaf. It'll drive a couple 100 miles. That's it.
Electricity.
What is California doing right, and what is California doing wrong?
Well, California
been
the leader among all 50 states.
Leader of all 50
partly
states.
because of the great leadership.
Yeah, and this is why people are leaving California, because it's too damned expensive to live there.
Of Governor Jerry Brown.
Why don't you live there, idiot?
Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke recently visited the Mendocino...
Okay, I'm done. I'm done with Al Gore. I'm so done with Al Gore. John Kasich talking about John McCain's funeral. John Kasich is a tool. John Kasich is a failure. John Kasich never had a chance at a presidential nominee because John Kasich is a rhino. Here is John Kasich talking about Donald Trump and him being at the McCain funeral.
Something that Senator McCain thought through, he planned, he orchestrated every little bit of it. What do you think his message was?
Come together, have guts, stand up. You know, I mean, that's the thing about John. John was so comfortable with himself. Leaders walk a lonely road. And John did not like people that did this, put their finger in the air and get the wind. He was so comfortable with himself. And it really didn't matter to him who he was going to have to take on or what cause he was going to go for. If he felt it in his bones, in his heart, and in his soul, then he went forward. And I think that was the message.
Meghan McCain, his daughter, delivered a really
She made me cry.
She made you cry.
She made me cry for two reasons. One was the deep love she had for her father.
Well, yeah, that's what a daughter does.
And you know the other thing that made me cry?
No, John. What was it?
The deep love that sometimes girls have for their daddies.
Well, yeah, that's
fine. I've got two little girls. They're not little anymore.
Great.
They're in college.
I'm with you. I've got a daughter, too.
It just brought everything home.
Okay, what else?
She was just incredible.
What else?
And
she was her father's daughter. She was strong in her words.
Well,
and it was clear who she was speaking about.
John McCain, no matter what position he took, always figured out a way to build a bridge. And now we have a leader who is either unable or unwilling to unite the country.
Do you know why? Because you're not building a bridge to your idiotic side of the equation, and you can't effing stand it.
And at the same time, to be able to use the strength of America, whether it's the economic, whether it's the military.
He's making the economic strength happen, sir. He's making the military strength happen, sir.
Or the political strength to make the world a better place, to use our leadership to raise the bar, to get to a better place in the world.
Why haven't you done that, sir? In your career as a political leader, why haven't you done that?
And these are the things that frustrated John.
Okay, whatever. John McCain, yes. Okay, I think he's a terrific man. I think he's a very brave American, and I pay tribute to him, certainly. But he also was a political insider, and a lifelong bureaucrat. Sorry. You be pissed at me. I don't care. John McCain should have retired 10 years ago. Maybe even 15 years ago. He should have retired. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Ooh, I got some good stuff. All right, this is going to be offensive. Kyle Green, organic farmer, an organic farmer running for state house in Minnesota, used a racial slur in a campaign ad earlier released this month. He's like Michael Eric Dyson. He's only black when it's convenient. That's essentially it. He's only black when it's convenient. He decided to use the N-word in one of his TV commercials. Here he is, suddenly being very black. Even though he's an organic farmer. Here it is. Check it out.
Hi, I'm your neighbor Kyle Green. I'm running for District 18A State Representative. I'm not asking for you to vote for me as your leader. I'm asking for you to vote for me as your...
If you're an organic farmer, you need to be more like Georgetown University professor Michael Eric Dyson and go, ha!
Servant. The primary duty of a state representative is to protect all the rights of his constituents.
Yes.
I want to be your state representative.
Yes.
I want to be your public servant.
Yes.
And I want to be your nigger.
Wow! Whoa! What did he just say there? Hold on. He didn't even say the Niggah version. He did the very, very suburban organic farmer version of it.
I want to be your public servant, and I want to be your nigger.
That'd be like a TV weatherman saying that. And I want to do your forecast, and I want to be your... And I can't say it because I'm a white guy.
Your state representative.
Yes.
I want to be your public servant.
Yes.
And I want to be your nigger.
Wow. That is, wow. Anyway. Green told the Minneapolis Star Tribune that he used the racist slur because he wants citizens of the state to focus on the real issues at hand. I guess that makes sense. Whatever. We need to unify as a society. We need to stop dealing with trivial matters. Hell kind of sense does this make? Green said the N-word is part of American history regardless of the race. It's part of my history being African-American, white, and Cherokee Indian. One of these things is not like the other. He also said our elected representatives' duty is to protect the rights and privileges of their constituents from all government encroachment. Kyle Green, organic farmer. Wow. Bravo, Kyle Green. You're a genius. Couple more stories before I go, and I hate to go, but I hope you've enjoyed the show. Ryan Gosling has a new movie out, and he plays Neil Armstrong. And in the movie, they get rid of the American flag. Neil Armstrong landed on the moon, and he planted an American flag because it was an American accomplishment. Yes, it wasn't one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. I get it. But it was also an American accomplishment because we told the world in the Soviet Union, F you, we're going to do this before you do. Here's a little bit from The Five talking about Ryan Gosling and not planting the American flag.
Welcome back. Hollywood creating new controversies. First, a new movie starring Ryan Gosling as former astronaut Neil Armstrong. It's receiving a big backlash because the film intentionally leaves out the iconic...
By the way, real quick, I met Neil Armstrong in Cincinnati, Ohio, about 15 years ago. He was coming out of a restaurant. I couldn't believe that I met him because I'm a huge space and astronomy buff. And I walked up to him and I said, Neil, I said, I can't believe I'm meeting Neil Armstrong. I shook his hand. And he said, it happens. That's what Neil Armstrong said to me.
Iconic moment in 1969 when the American flag was planted on the moon. The Canadian actor defends the decision to omit Old Glory. He says the historic mission transcends countries and borders as a human achievement.
Yes, but you can't avoid history in doing so. Yes, it was one gigantic step for man, small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. We got that, Ryan, but it just so happens that the guy planted an American flag. So how about you go ahead and include that in the historical significance of the damned film?
And Gosling says he doesn't think Neil Armstrong views himself as an American.
He's dead. You never met him.
Hero. This comes as a new report in Variety shows just how Gosling's celebrity friends are gearing up for the midterms. They're donating big bucks, more than $27 million, to try to help Democrats win back control of Congress.
Yes, and it's not going to happen. Here is Mark Stein talking about if another country made it to the moon first.
In the early years, and if the Soviets had got there first, that flag would have been in the movie.
Yes.
That's such a good point. That is such a good point. And Ryan Gosling would play the Russian proudly.
Comrades.
And just stick it in there. All right. Now we continue beating up on Hollywood. Emily, what about...
Okay, it's true. If it would have been the Soviet Union, they're heroes. If it would have been Cuba, it would have been they would have been heroes if they flew up their 57 Chevy into space because they can't get auto parts. The Cuban space program would have been celebrated. It's unbelievable. Man, we've had a lot of stuff tonight, right? We've had a lot of stuff tonight. I'm not quite done yet. Life in 2018. You ready? 1,500 parents with children under the age of 10 found that 45% of children don't know how to tie their shoelaces. Many relying on shoes with Velcro straps. A research firm by footwear firm Windsor's World of Shoes found 55% of children who could tie their own laces. More than a third can't be bothered, instead simply tucking laces into their shoes. 42% of children under the age of 10 can't tell the time. That doesn't surprise me. 25% can't use a knife and fork confidently. 44% have no idea how to read a map. And 99.5% of them don't know how to shoe a horse. I know. Shocking. Finally, last story of the evening, Mom of the Year candidate getting death threats. Caitlin Wolf, medical worker from Leesburg, Florida, facing police and child services investigations over a video she posted. Apparently, she was dunking her toddler's head in a toilet. She said that is not tell the whole story. It was a joke between the three of us. Her son and I were horse playing rough. We stuck his head in the toilet, flushed it. My older son was recording it. The mother of two explained that the 3-year-old blurted out a profanity. So she initially decided to punish him by washing his mouth out with soap and water, which again is antiquated. Why don't you just dip your son in a lake? Why don't you beat your son with a belt while you're at it, you moron? Washing your mouth out with soap and water. What the hell? Do we live in 1940 whatever? She grabbed the toddler, held him above the toilet, dipped his head into the water. Now, this apparently was a joke. Mom says, no, he was having fun. It was funny. Tell me if you think this sounds like a kid having fun.
God, that's mean.
And the kid said, God, that's mean. I don't want to... You see how the kid's hands were behind his back? That's how John McCain was treated in prison. And now there's going to be, some people who like to spank their children are going to be upset at me about it. But bullcrap. Take her kids away, at least temporarily, until she learns how to raise them. All right. It's time for me to go. Have you had fun tonight? I've had fun with you. Thanks for all the comments. Alan and Sherry and Michael and Ann and all you guys around the country. Thank you so much. I'd love to do this full time. I haven't been able to. But if we grow the audience, we make it bigger. It will grow. It'll be bigger. So I'm going to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are absolutely the best. And I will see you again very soon. Make sure to share this on social media. God bless, and we'll see you again soon. We'll grow.
Thanks for listening to the Rob Carson Show.
Thank you.
Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show.
You are absolutely
on Twitter at Rob Carson. And on Instagram.
There we go.
I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now.